Well, today on the Marketing Box podcast, we have a little bit of a special edition because our own Shannon Coulon turns 23 today. So that's why we're wearing these goofy hats and
Go, shorty.
It's my birthday.
go. So it's been a heck of a year for you. Lots of changes, lots of accomplishments. It's been a whirlwind, I bet, huh?
I can't believe it's been another entire year around the sun for me. I'm like, whoa, oh, wait, I'm 23. Feels like 23. I just turned 22. 22 flew by. It really did. So many great things have happened. So much change has happened that it feels like I blinked. And a year has just like, I'm like, whoa, I can look back at all these small little things that led to big changes.
Tell us about them.
So, I mean, I was looking at videos, and exactly a year ago, like, my life was just completely different in the best ways. Like, I love looking back on these things, and I'm like, I don't know if I could have told myself that I'd be sitting at a podcast table, like, just doing this today. So I graduated college. I finished cheerleading. I cheered my last game ever. It's just really weird to think, like, I mean, I know you played football. It's just you want to be in those moments, but you just know that they're fleeting.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just.
Would you do anything different or look at it different?
No.
Looking back on it?
No. I think I did it the best way I could have. I think I did.
Well, that's always good.
I don't have zero regrets when it comes to that. I don't think that there's anything that I look back and I'm like, I just wish I would have done that.
Yeah.
I feel like I just lived it up. Like, I was living my best life, and I still am living my best life. It's just a different kind of life.
Yeah, and how's the transition been from college to the workforce?
It's different. I think it's easy to feel like you're doing good when you're in school because you get a grade and you're in a class with a whole bunch of other people. So it's just different. Like, when it comes to your job, like, that is your life. So I feel like you're constantly improving. With school, like, you change classes, you change semesters. So it's just a different kind of progress.
Mm-hmm.
But
this
like,
is an everyday thing.
Right. And it's like every day I'm trying to challenge myself. Like, in class, it's like, it's just not the same. Mike was just saying, like, oh my gosh, 2022 was a big year for you. The age 22, 27,000 followers on TikTok. And I'm like,
from zero. How long ago?
0.
7 months? 8 months ago? 8 months ago?
Yeah, and it's like I have more followers on MarketingBox than I do on my personal TikTok. And I'm like, I just never would have seen that happening. And it's just like, wow, I can't believe. Like, in June, it'll be a year since I started working here.
Wow.
And it's flown by.
So for all the young people out there that are watching right now, what is some advice that you can give them as they're getting ready? It's coming up. May is graduation, right? So there's a whole new group of students that are going to be graduating. And what are they going to face when they get out here? Because things are a little bit different than when you entered the job market. You know, things seem a little bit more uncertain right now.
Yeah. I think the best advice you can have is, like, just know that you don't want to be this, like, you think you know everything. You think you know, and you just don't. And I think accepting that there's so much more to learn, and, like, it's don't put a cap on what you can do. Put yourself out there. Go for things. I said I don't have any regrets. The only thing I wish I would have done is internships. It was just really hard to make that work with my cheer schedule. Mm-hmm. But, like, if you have a lot of time on your hands, like, gain some new skills. Yeah. I've learned so much about, like, recession-proof skills. Like, go and get these little certifications to set yourself apart from other people.
Well, look at what you've done.
Yeah,
I mean, look
I'm
at
like,
this.
and Sean asked me, because my parents came here the other day, and Sean asked, like, did y'all ever see Shannon doing this? And I had never asked my mom that or my dad that. My mom was like, I don't know. Shannon just kind of does whatever she puts her mind to. And I'm like, I couldn't see what I was going to be doing at this point last year. Like, I was nervous because I knew whatever I was going to do, I was going to be passionate about it, but I didn't know where I was going to end up. And now it's like I could totally see it. I'd always talked about, like, my passion for social media and all that, but yeah.
And what have you learned? What have you learned in this short 8-9 months? Because your growth has been, from my perspective, and Mike's perspective, has been just monumental.
I think I've just learned that, like, don't stop learning. I feel like every day, like, yes, you want to consume, but you just got to freaking practice and do it.
Yeah.
Like, you might be embarrassed some days, but it's like, thank God I did that because now I know about this. And also, there's just so many resources out there. Like every day I read on Twitter about how to be a better writer, how to be a better storyteller. And to me, that helps with creating content, how to make things work visually. So, yeah.
So you are a little bit different because you are used to being in front of the camera, right? You are, cheered on the greatest college football team that ever existed. So you were in the limelight a lot. So you were a little bit more accustomed to the cameras than most people. But what is your advice to some people that didn't maybe have that experience? Because you're going to feel the same way. I felt it. Maybe you didn't, but when you get in front of this camera the first time, something happens. You just got to get over yourself, right?
Yeah, I think, you know what, like the people you admire, everybody started somewhere. Yeah. Everybody had a first everything. Yeah. The most successful people you look at, and we always reference Gary Vee because we all love him and he is very successful. He started somewhere. You can't compare where you're at the beginning of your journey to someone who's been in the game for 10 plus years.
That's right.
That's just point blank period. It's easy to compare like, oh my gosh, I don't have as many followers as this person. I feel stupid, blah, blah, blah. But it's like you can't compare your beginning to someone's like mid-journey.
Yeah.
That's just...
Yeah.
I think also, though, and on that same note, though, is that, I feel like I find like inspiration and motivation from you. So even like finding like, even regardless of how long Sean and I have been doing this, we were both really uncomfortable being on camera, having you here, feeding off of you, but just kind of like your energy in the office. There's something that you can pull from everybody, regardless of their background, regardless of how much experience they have. So don't overlook new people. I mean, this is just for people around looking for great hires, when that workforce comes out. Don't overlook that. And again, like what Shanna's doing, when she came in, I remember the interview very clearly. Before she even got down the steps, Sean said, we need to figure out a way to hire her. Yeah. She's got the energy. She's got the vibe. She is going to help us get to that next level.
Yeah, that's the way it is too. And listen, it's not just us that felt that, because now over time, it's interesting because as our followers have grown. Now we actually, I think yesterday, the day before, you get a message from a CEO of a big company that had seen you on TikTok that says, hey, I hope my daughters can grow up to have the type of vibe that you have, basically, man. And this is a CEO writing that to you. So, if you get out there and start doing the work, the metaverse is going to validate what you're doing. Listen, it's inevitable if you don't quit. That's really what it's all about, man, is you got to get started and just stick to it. And listen, an overnight success, when you really look behind the curtains, it was lots of years in the making. So
right.
There is no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. You just got to put the work in one day in front of the other.
And I think, honestly, just be yourself.
Yeah.
There's so many things out there that try to tell you how to be who you should be at certain points of time and all. Like, don't be afraid to just be who you truly are. Like, I remember one of our very first viral videos, her voice is so cheesy, blah, blah, blah. But, like, that's what makes me different. That's what makes me stand out.
That's right.
It's like I don't talk the same as everybody else that you're seeing on your For You page or on, So
well, listen, and you really are like this. You're excited about life, though. So it's not for the cameras, actually.
Yeah. Like,
and what does Gary Vee always say? Gary Vee always says the number one thing is be authentic, dude.
Yeah.
You just got.
And actually, at lunch, I was telling Mike, I was like, one of my friends was telling me a story about when she first met me. She said, I went back to all the other girls, and I was like, there's no way she's like that all of the time. There's no way she's that nice. Like, she honestly thought maybe I was being, like, putting on a joke.
Right.
But I was like, no, that's how I am. That's just how I am. I just, like, there's no other way to put it. But anyways, yeah.
Well, listen, you've been a real blessing to us, and plugging you in, it was like plugging your finger into the light socket when you came in. You just brought so much energy to the place, and your passion and the scoreboard that you keep every day. You keep score. You're measuring yourself. You're internalizing things. Listen, you've been fantastic, and I'm so thankful that we got the opportunity to work together. And happy 23rd birthday.
Yes, looking very forward to seeing what accomplishments you make in 23.
Yeah, so speaking of 23, this is going to be a big year for me, a big year for our team. I'm so excited to learn even more. Like, I'm thinking about this point at next year. We're going to be sitting at the table again, and we're going to be like, oh my gosh, we were excited about 27,000 followers, but it's going to be more than that. We're going to have a huge community of people.
That's it.
So I'm very excited. And if you guys have anything that you're looking forward to, like future-wise from us, like always, reach out to me. I love the feedback, and I love it when people message me personally, too, about stuff that they want to see. So, yeah, I'm super excited.
So, Mike, before we close, should we sing our happy birthday?
Oh gosh.
Absolutely.
Y'all might.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday to you.